In this video, we'll talk about e-commerce, but we'll take a step back. We'll talk about your Shopify store, how you can sell more, what you can sell, what is the cost as an overall, what is a ROAS, how you can compute a break-even ROAS, and how you can improve your store overall, looking at the competition, the discount you can put, the upsell offer, and exactly which country you can target. So welcome, sit back, and let's go. Hello guys, so welcome back, and just don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video. So we're gonna talk about the big picture of your e-commerce store. So this scheme is hopefully giving you a view of what could you change in your store and what is the impact. So if we start from the top to the bottom on the right, so here you see you have the average cart. So that's something you could have on the analytics of your store, and that gets you exactly what is the average cart, which could be interesting after if you want to compute some key performance indicator. So then you have your average cost per purchase. So this is actually the average cost of acquisition as per Facebook ads or Instagram ads. So that's something you can have via the Power Editor. So here is the proportion, between the two, which is a good indicator of how far you invest to receive a return. Here you have the payment fees, so it can be Shopify, it can be PayPal. As an overall, I like to keep in mind that it's 9%. It sounds huge. I think it's most likely to be below, but PayPal is at the most expensive end, whereas Shopify payment is a bit less expensive. So indeed, you have the price that you are showing on your store. You have the price that you are paying facing your AliExpress supplier. So there is improvement there, but we're going to talk about it. So we have the ROAS. So some of you may never heard about ROAS. So ROAS stands for return on ad spend. This is super helpful, guys. So return on ad spend is actually if you want to compute your current return on ad spend, it's better to use your average cart and you divide that by your average cost per purchase. So then, for example, here it's 2.43, which means that for every dollar that I'm spending on ad, I get back in return 2.43. But now the question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the break-even ROAS? Break-even is basically standing for at which point do I start earning money if I go above, or losing money if I go below. So here you have the computed break-even ROAS. And what is it? It's basically what is the maximum I can spend on the ad so that I don't lose money. So it's basically your average cart minus your average product price shipped minus your payment fees minus any profit that you may have. So if you want more detail, if you want formulas, if you want detailed stuff on any of those things, feel free to ask. I'm gonna make dedicated video for you. So you behind your screen, I'm happy to do dedicated video for you if you ask me something on the comment. So don't hesitate. So here, if we move forward, so it's actually an average of product that is in the cart based on the average cart. It's actually based on your main product, on any shop. On any dropshipping store, you have one key product. So you use this key product as a benchmark, and you divide the average cart by the price on your store of your key product. Here it's mine. So then you have a bit above 2, and then you can deduct what is the price shipped of your product, because you know the price that you are paying in AliExpress for a shipped product, for your key product. So you take this quantity and you multiply by the price that you have. And finally, you can get some kind of average profit based on all those indicators. So again, this is very average. This is key, this is average indicators, but that's super useful for you to know roughly where you are at. And for every of those items, I just would like to get deeper. And for every point, feel free to ask me if you want a detailed video about that, if you want some insight of what kind of apps that you can use, what kind of offer that you can put in place, I'll be glad to do so. So if we start with the average cart, so basically the factor that are in play there is the average client experience indeed. So, I mean, what is the look of your website? Does it look legit? Do you have like color predefined, like a proper chart of color? Do you have a nice logo, a professional one? Do you have a well-written text and description? Do you have all the, privacy page, refund page, FAQ, contact us, about us, things like that? It's basically the environment that put the clients into a comfortable place. So that's key. Then you can have volume discount. So you can put incentives so that the client is pushed to buy more. So you can have, for example, it's 20% off for 2 products, it's 50% off for 4, etc. So that's something that can push your average cart up. Then you can have upsell offers, so upsell or downsell. So it's basically as soon as someone add something into the cart, or when the guy is coming to the cart, then you can propose something. You can suggest something which is preferably related to the product that the guy put in the cart. So that's something that can increase your cart. And one point that I did not mention there is, for example, the shipping. So you can, for example, decide to put a shipping threshold. So for example, if your average cart is 28, normally the clever things to do is to put shipping free starting 30, because that most people will tend to be at 28. They will reach out the end of the checkout, they will see that they have to pay like 5 USD for the shipping. But you tell them, okay, guy, if you put 30 USD, then it's free for you. So then it's one more incentive. Regarding the cost per purchase, so this is super complex. Like everything else, but here you have your ads. So you need to step back and look at your ads. So first of all, does your ad creative is quality ones? Do you have good picture? What you write on it? What is the caption that you use? Is it clear? Do people like it? If you put videos on there, do you have a big click-through rate? So CTR stands for click-through rate. So it's the percentage of guys who are clicking on your ads. CPM is the cost per mile. So it's basically for 1,000. How much are you paying in USD? Which is an indicator of various issues. Whereas, for example, you are targeting people that are too much targeted among competitors, so it will be super expensive. In general, if it's like above 15 USD, then you can forget. It will be very difficult to be profitable. So 10 to 15 is a good range for, big 4 countries, US, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. If you are reaching worldwide, then it's 5 to 10, and like low tier countries is below 5. That's the standard one. If it's different than that, then be careful and make sure that your ad is profitable. CPC, so cost per click, it's an indicator of how much people. So it's a mix of both actually. Cost per click mean it can be low CTR, but high CPM and the opposite. So you just have to see If you have a cost per click that is higher than 1 or 1.5 USD, then you'll struggle to make it profitable. I mean, if you are selling product in the standard range of like 15 USD, 20 USD, it's different if you are selling high ticket product. Audience, so that's a big thing. It's exactly who do you target, how you target them, do you retarget them, do you push multiple times the same ad, what ages are you targeting. So that's something I'll be glad to do a detailed video on that if you ask me to do so. On payment, so it depends on your payment platform, so which one are you using. I mean, in terms of product price, so it's not what is impacting the price per se, but I just wanted to put in, just like big general thoughts there, so that it open you to various area of searches, and that could open your mind to something. So market competition is basically, it's not the same if you sell an appealing product which is not in the market yet versus an appealing product which is already on Amazon, which has already like 20 other Shopify stores selling the same item. So the landscape, the environment is impacting your profitability, and you have to adapt your price, unfortunately, based on that. So it does not mean it's a no-go. You can have product on Amazon and still be profitable on Shopify, because in Amazon, people buy product. They buy a product on a platform that is price driven. On your store, they should be buying a story. They should be buying something more than just a product. So you have to sell not a product, but a story. So we can go deeper into that if you want. The mainstreaminess of your product. So it's basically, is it a mainstream product? Can I find your product on Walmart? Can I find your product on a shop across the street? This is very important. So you have to make sure that this is preferably product that they cannot find somewhere else, or at least they think. So unitary product cost. So actually, that's a trick that you can think about with your supplier on AliExpress. So when you just trade like few products, it's difficult to negotiate with AliExpress seller. But at some point, hopefully, you get connection with them, you talk to them via the messages, and potentially you will have them on WhatsApp, on WeChat, and then you can leverage on that connection. But the key point that you have to keep in mind is, do you have volume discount? If you are buying 10 of the same product, that's something that they can put in place on AliExpress, and you could request that. And there is also another thing, which is, does the shipping is embedded in the product price? Because the funny thing, in the past, when I was very new to this, I was thinking that it's better to have a price with free shipping. Like e-packet is free. That's good. I prefer it's clean. But the thing is, if you are buying 5 times the same product and the shipping is embedded into the default price, then you are basically paying the shipping multiple times. So therefore, that's a ripoff. So you have to be careful on this. You have to make sure that you need to leverage on every single factor that you have at hand. And for example, if you know that you have clients who tend to buy 5, 6, 8, 10 of the same product, then you have to get the best price. So you have to have prices on AliExpress that is splitting the cost of the product and the cost of the shipping, so that if you have, for example, a product of 5 USD total and 2 USD of shipping, 3 USD of product, if you have a fully embedded price, then for 4 products you will pay 4 times 5, so 20. If you have a price which is breakdown between the shipping and the product price, then you'll pay 4 times 3, so 12. And then, okay, you will not pay 2 for the shipping, but you may pay 4 or 5. But it will still be 17 or 18, but you get the point. you get a discount, and that's key. So your current ROAS. So current ROAS, there is a lot of factor, and it's vastly depend on what you are selling, but because there is a lot of people who are basically making everything so that they just need a ROAS of 2, and then they are profitable. But I think there were a point that I wanted to make is, if you are targeting countries which are what I call vanilla one, so it's like top tier countries like US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So don't expect crazy ROAS. At least most of the time you'll tend to be in 2, 3, maybe 1 if you're unlucky. But it's just that the CPM and CPC is very high, and you are less likely to have a crush on those countries. Plus they are heavily marketed, so they tend to have a CTR which is lower, as opposed to exotic countries, countries where no one is ever shipping to. I mean, there is people who do, but very few. Mexico, Colombia, Brazil. So it's a mess to deal with those countries, because most of the time delivery is crap, very low, very slow. You have to get through detailed payment platforms so that people in Brazil can pay using their usual credit card, etc. But the thing is, you can reach crazy ROAS, and that's something you can think about. If you have a store that is profitable in the US but with 2 to 3 in ROAS, you can think about putting the same store in place, but you put the language as Brazilian, and then you fully target Brazil. Maybe you're gonna crush it. But you have to get the proper payment platform so that you accept the local card, etc. So that can be tricky for inexperienced people. So the break-even ROAS, I say it's linked to the product selection, because products that are $5 including shipping, $5 or below, tend to be easier to dropship, because then you can sell in a range of $15 USD, 14.99, and then it's not crazy. People will tend to buy easily. Whereas if you have a product on AliExpress that is $20 USD, I mean, at which price are you selling it? And if you sell something at 50 USD, you probably need a strong brand. You probably need very good pictures, strong marketing material, strong social media presence. So that's another level of marketing. So roughly that's it about what I wanted to discuss. Last thing is targeted country. It's also linked to where do you ship and the price. You cannot expect your supplier to provide the same price irrespective of the countries. I can give you some countries that could be profitable, but you have super expensive shipping. Puerto Rico, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina. You have Chile. You have a lot of places where no one is marketing. So then you can make a crush, but you have to try. You have to see, and you have to look to be careful about the shipping price. So that's all for today. I hope you like it. So it's just my second video, so I'm quite new to this, but I hope I give you value. That's really my goal. So feel free to put a comment, feel free to like and subscribe, and therefore you can show me that you appreciate, and if you have special requests, you put that on the comment. I'll be glad to really address your request. Thank you guys. Bye.